And here we go. This is the finals of Saturday Smash number 3 against Fidarthos, Undead Batroon, and we have ED Spermacula. I'm just calling it a tough skin Magia because that's what I feel is the appropriate name for it. I know some other people in the forums have different names for it. Playing down the Ironhide, getting the field advantage with the internal troll. Definitely kind of a really good rush here against Batroon, actually. Batroon is going to have to take the time out to fix the board situation before he can go on the event, get set up here as far as his strategy goes. So definitely a really good draw for Magia. And I'm sure it's not an easy decision on Batroon exactly what to play. He doesn't have his ability just up yet. Going to go ahead and play the Death Mage. Going to go for the Ironhide. Magia does have enough damage output to finish off the Death Mage if she chooses to attack with both her allies. Tomb of Knowledge comes out. So not only did she establish a pretty good rush here, but also her draw engine pretty early, and a very appropriate time here using it on turn 4. This is kind of a pro tip for some of the players out there, especially in the newer ones. Using the draw engines on turn 4 definitely gives you a clear, distinct advantage because you're not wasting a turn just playing something where you have to waste even more resources to play it later. So commonly you'll see allies go out on turn 2 and the Tomb of Knowledge comes out on turn 4. That way you build that field presence and then use Tomb of Knowledge when you can actually use it rather than just playing it out there and just putting it out there. So it's definitely a very, very good start here for Magia. Now Batroon will be able to pull out a weapon. More likely attack internal troll, more so wasting his durability. I guess that's not the case here. He may not have a weapon though just yet. We saw earlier he did have crossbow. More likely you're probably gonna have a Grundler's double or another weapon such as Soul Seeker. More than likely though he'll have Grundler's double. It's kind of a bread and butter for a Batroon. Not only is that a weapon but draw engine as well. Killing off the Death Mage with the Magia's ability with the attack from Eternal Troll leaves Batroon back in the situation. He's really doesn't have much for him going. Tombstone Beacon comes out. Won't be able to play any allies this turn with it though. If Magia keeps up this pressure, even if she loses this pressure, let's say she loses it, Batroon actually comes back and he takes back over the field. It's going to be very difficult for him to win. We haven't seen any abilities by Magia yet. That means she's holding on to all that burning and damage potential. So if she can get him into the late game, have the resources and draws out, and have him, somewhat kind of a little bit lower than what he is now, Magia will have this in the bag, I feel. Although Batroon does play the Crypt, and he puts him up. Uragaan. He does have the Crypt, okay? But, however, the Internal Troll can attack, come back, and finish it off with the Uragaan. And because it is not killed with an ability, the Torment will go into the graveyard rather than his hand. So I didn't really expect this much of a dominant side from Magia. It just goes to show how consistent her deck is as far as the traditional Ironhide, Internal Troll, and Uragaan play. All back to back. So her deck is very well developed. You can tell he's experienced. He knows what his plan is. This is how I want to go. And he obviously set his deck up as far as the building portion of it to be able to play those cards successfully. So more than likely, he's got 4 copies of each of those. Probably 4 copies of Tomb of Knowledge as well. Like he clearly knows this is the route I gotta go. This is the route I'm gonna win. And with 4 copies of each of those, he's able to play that series of plays more consistently. doing the 2 damage there. Now, Badroom could pull out a weapon with his ability now and be able to kill off the internal troll since it is open. Playing the ground shift, I believe ground shift's the one that takes away the passive abilities. So if he would have played that first and then use the I do apologize. I can't remember the name. It's like Bone King something. But if he used his ally to kill off the internal troll after the ground shift was played, he would have been able to Durkan the Bone King. All right, Durkan. If he would play ground shift first, then play Durkan to do 2 damage to the internal troll, then he would have been able to kill it off. But that's not to say he didn't draw the ground shift when he activated Tomb of Beacon. Now he's playing the ground shift and using his Durkan to kill off the internal troll. This time actually being able to kill it. Now Durkan, I believe, when he's destroyed by an ally, when he's killed by combat, not abilities, then he will come back. So if he can do a little bit of damage here, or actually play, or no, if Durkan's the only ally, I do apologize if he's the only ally. So there's not really too much he can do because he does have the undead allies in his graveyard for Durkan's passive to be activated. So we may see Durkan keep coming back. Again, as I mentioned earlier, with Magia having such a strong early phase, I don't think we'll see Badroom coming back. Even if he takes back the field, I don't think he'll win it. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think he'll win it even if he takes back the field, just because Magia has such a great start over him. Playing down Wrath of Force, he will be able to draw once he kills off that Krygon, which he definitely will be able to. Didn't get much use out of that Rampart Krygon. I'm not sure if he forgot that ground shift was out, so the passives will go away. So this is a little bit of different strategy. We may not see Grundler's double just because he is playing undead deck, so he switches up his weapons to synchronize a little bit better with that, and then replacing Grundler's double with Wrath of Forest to establish his draw engine. Now, knocking him down to 1 health, it's not going to take much for Magia to use another ability. We didn't even see abilities from her until turn 7 or so. So, she saved up a lot of them. I'm assuming she drew a lot of them, kept them in hand. Playing down another Tombstone with Crispon Torment. Bringing out the Harbinger. Going all or nothing here. He knows that he's going to die just in a second. So he's trying to do as much damage output, but I don't think it's going to help. Here comes the Sunblighted one that finishes off Fidar. So that is a 1-0 victory for Magia. Now, I don't think Badroom is down and out just yet. I don't think it's completely one-sided. However, if Magia gets another draw like that and is able to establish such a dominant early phase, then it might be. Badroom will have turn 1 advantage here because he'll be starting this next turn since Magia started last turn. So that helps him out a little bit. It kind of prevents her to be able to get such a lead even if she draws the ideal draw like that again. But it's going to be up to Badroom with that early start to make sure that she can't pressure him like that. If she does, then we're probably going to see a very similar matchup. Very good play by Magia. It was definitely that she made it look one-sided. So Fiddle has hosted his their room, so we're just waiting on Vegeta to come in. So Bad Room will have turn 1 advantage, is the reason why he's hosting. So I'm not sure where the match went. Maybe they're having trouble connecting or something. Fiddle being new to the tournament scene. For those who know, so in case you're ever in any other tournaments or any SNG's tournaments, when you want to go first against an opponent, the game will register you to go first if you host a game with a password creator. So any other password, the game will randomize and it will be completely at random of who goes first. But he should have it hosted this time on the correct password. And we can get started. And this would be round 2. Gia having the 1-0 victory here, or 1-0 lead, I'm sorry. Not victory yet. There we go. Going, this is round 2 of the finals. Badrun is going first. Gives him a little bit of advantage. Make sure he doesn't get beat up on the early stages again. We'll see if he can actually establish some allies here in the early stage. No, he does not. So turn 2, he's not going to be anything for him. This gives Magia an opportunity to open it up with Ironhide, and she does. This time around, Ironhide may have trouble sticking around. Well, not anymore, but if Badrun had been able to summon an ally, unless she used up one of her abilities to kill it off, more than likely Ironhide wouldn't be able to kill off a 3-drop ally with it being at 4 health. Playing down the Death Mage, so a little bit of a different match here considering we don't see the internal troll. This kind of helps out Badrun a little bit. Playing down the Death Collector, I don't think it'll last too long though. The combination between Death Mage and Krygon's attacks will be able to kill off the Death Collector, and he'll be able to do so without losing anybody, considering Death Mage, as long as the Death Mage uses his ability first, Death Collector won't get a chance to defend. I guess knowing this, he's going to go ahead and play Death Collector, although this allows Magia to attack Badrun directly without any consequences or field pressure. Badrun's ability will be up next turn, so we can see a weapon coming from him. playing at Phoenix Ergon. Bad Room is definitely going to have some trouble here. This is very similar match as far as last round. Getting that early pressure and just beating up on Bad Room before he can even get set up early. He can summon his weapon and an ally. He's going to go ahead and do crossbow instead of the other weapon he had last game. It'll be interesting to see what exactly he picks as far as what he wants to attack with. Going to go ahead and use Hunter's Gambit just to be able to get some draw. He's going to go ahead and summon the Death Collector. It is ready, so he's going to go ahead and attack the Death Mage. More than likely going to attack the Juragon with his hero. Death Collector will go since it can only last one turn with the Shroud. Sacrificing the Ironhide knowing if he attacks it's just going to die anyways. Playing out another Ironhide. Deja vu here. So this time, the big difference between this match and last match is Magia not having her draw engine out. And it kind of messed her up. The reason why the Uragon didn't come back was because when he attacks with a crossbow, it automatically puts it in flame. And the text of the card says as long as it's not in flame, it's going to come back. So it cancels out the ability as if it's already had came back. So that's the reason why the Uragon didn't come back. So that really helps him out here as far as field pressure here for Bad Rune. So it was definitely an excellent play, him knowing his the context of the card and figuring out a way around that. Playing the Supernova will clear out the field, however, Magia is still in a tricky situation here considering she doesn't have any draw engine still. She does have her ability. Playing down the Darkin going to do 2 damage, and I'm assuming he's not going to play another ally and just irritate her with that. Both of them are equal health here. Magia does have her ability, so that'll help her draw a little bit. I think Bad Rune between the Darkin and the... Ooh, playing down the ground shift's going to take away Darkin's passive. So if she can kill off that Darkin, it's not going back to her hand, which should definitely be a lot help for her. Kind of hesitant on playing here. Maybe she miscalculated her resources if she has something. For example, if she had a lightning strike, she could have miscalculated and been like, oh, I need 4 resources at 3. No, here comes the fireball. And going for the Bad Rune instead. So ground shift really didn't do anything for her. I'm not for sure if she originally planned to attack the Darkin, or I'm not sure what was the strategy there. Now when Darkin's killed, which might happen with Magia's ability up next turn, he'll actually get a draw from it. Because Bad Rune does have the weapons and the damage output right now, I think this is going to go in favor of him. Magia will be able to get rid of his weapon this turn. However, Bad Rune's ability is up. Oh, no, he cannot, actually, because of his passive on his crossbow, doing the 1 fire damage before it actually any battle is conducted, end up killing off the Krygon before his attack could register. Now, if he decides to attack Magia this turn, he's going to be leaving her with 4 health. I'm sorry. And Bad Rune's ability is up next turn. So between that and even if she manages to kill off the Darkin, Magia will be able to Bad Rune will be able to kill off Magia. Between the weapon attack and the Darkin's ability. Reducing Bad Rune down to 9. This is still a close game, though. I think a couple misplays by Magia, and that possibly threw her the game. And I even said that before this match even started while we were prepping for the semifinals matches. I think it would come down to whoever makes the mistakes, because I thought this was definitely going to be a close match. Attacking with the weapon and more likely going to play the Darkin, going to finish off the Magia and Death Knight instead. Or Death Mage, I'm sorry, not Death Knight. So that leaves the game to 1-1 here in the finals. So I just proved this is anybody's ball game as far as who's going to win this. Catching it back up. We saw a very dominant start in a game between Magia and the first one. And the second game, I wouldn't say Bad Rune dominated. It was still a very close game. But a couple of misplays by Magia. And so maybe if Magia comes through this time and doesn't have as many misplays, maybe it's going to be in favor of her. Game is loaded. And we are starting. This is the last round of the finals. It's 1-1. Well, I say it's the last round. However, it could be a supernova in the end and tying it. So we'll see what happens. And Bad Rune does have the start. I think that helps Bad Rune. As we saw last game, it helps him where he's not beat up on it as much. Tomb of Knowledge this time did not have the Ironhide. So we will not see an aggressive start from Magia. Magia playing a little bit more conservative this match. We'll see if it's as close as what it was the last two matches. Fireball coming down with Death Collector. As you notice, not having any allies out, she's having to play a little bit more aggressively with her spells. This can be good or bad because her not being as field dominant means she's just able to establish her draw engine early. So we'll see that draw engine comes into play here. We haven't seen any item instruction for Bad Rune, so you may not have any item instruction for that Tomb of Knowledge. Smart choice saving that ability here. He's going to go ahead and play down Uragaan. Now Bad Rune does have his ability up, so if he summons up a crossbow, he can kill that Uragaan without having his passive come into play. And he does not. He actually has Soul Seeker instead. With Raven's Gambit out, he will be able to draw from that kill there. And with Necromancer Shroud, he will be able to finish off the Uragon. Pretty dominant start here for Bad Rune. He's got his weapon out. He's got the Death Mage. I would say it's equal for card-to-card advantage because the hands, it's 2 to 4. Magia just drew. However, I wouldn't say it's necessarily equal considering Bad Rune has 2 additional cards out on the field. Going ahead and drawing, increasing to 5. Going to play on the Acid Jet to get rid of the Soul Seeker. Maybe he just drew that, and after playing, maybe his original intent was killing off the Death Mage, but after using her ability and drawing the Acid Jet, she decided to switch up and kill off that instead. With him having Wrath of Forest out, he may catch up and be able to be on equal terms as far as card for card for Magia. Having Urgot, he does not have enough resources from Crossbow, even if he manages to draw it. Considering Crossbow is a 7 cost card, doesn't even sacrifice his turn. He just goes ahead and skips the sacrifice phase. So he's gonna stick to 5 resources. Both of them, I believe they've skipped the last couple of sacrifice phases. Bad Rune playing with low resources here definitely has the advantage compared to Magia. I feel like Magia definitely needs the resources to be able to function properly. He's going to go ahead and kill off the Death Mage, allowing Bad Rune to draw because of the Wrath of Forest, but he will ping 2 damage from it, so it wastes the 2 durability. Now he's going to have half of left with just 2 durability. Bad Rune's just 1 shot energy short from summoning up a weapon. So we should see one next turn. I don't know exactly what's going to come out this turn with him not having his ability, and I don't know too much of what he could have to kill off the field here. Hunter's Gambit is definitely a good choice here. Definitely a good play. Out comes the Death Collector Tombstone. Is going to allow him to draw yet again and give him extra resources in case he has anything for a 2-drop. Sacrificial Lamb will bring his card count up to 6. Or 7 actually with the Wrath of Forest, I forgot. Bad Rune does have a full hand now. Magia, I feel like definitely needs to be sacrificing and using up that Tomb of Knowledge. Definitely getting those abilities and that some damage potential as soon as possible. Playing out the Internal Troll, definitely a great card to have right now. Using the ability to sum up the Soul Seeker with 3 damage. Gonna go ahead and go for the Internal Troll. More than likely probably has something to be able to kill that off. Bad Rune definitely in a very good advantage here. Magia will have a difficult time getting rid of those torments. She does have her ability, and that could reduce down to 1 health, and then use Uragon to finish it off. Using that ability though is going to go back to his hand, so he doesn't necessarily get rid of it. I don't know if that was too good of a play. I would prefer to just get rid of the ally and not worry about it. But Magea's gonna pull it back to his hand. Gonna go ahead and attack and kill off this last Tormentor. So I feel like Magia, she cleared off the field. I don't think she got as much accomplished as what she may think she did. For one, Bad Rune has a phenomenal draw system going for him in this game. He has his weapon out. The Torment just went back to his hand, so he's got the resources to summon it again. That's no big deal. He just drew 2 more cards, so he's definitely dominating this side of the match here. Gonna go ahead and use Darken to finish off the internal troll. That way he won't be used this turn. It'll just be disabled on standby. Wouldn't be disabled, it's just not ready. Playing out another beacon back to back allows them to activate them both. Sitting at 3 resources, I'm sure he probably has another ally in his hand. He's trying to determine, do I want to play an ally and risk him killing off Darkin and me losing him, or should I just keep on dominating and creating this pressure on him? He decides not to. Internal Troll is still out. Darkin is still, Yurgon is still out in the field. Another internal troll comes out playing the Bad Santa. Going for Bad Rune and finally finishes off the Wrath of Forest. Bad Rune does have his 1/3 ability left on his weapon, however, so he will heal that damage that Yurgon just did to him. It just all depends on what he's going to go for. Me personally, I'd probably go for the Yurgon's going to die next turn. I would go for Internal Troll and kill him off, but instead he's going to go for Yurgon. I'm not sure what's his thinking process there, but if he would attack the Internal Troll with the weapon and then use the Darkin to attack again with that Internal Troll, it would have killed off It would kill off one of the Internal Trolls rather than one just being ready. And Yurgon was going to die either way once it swapped to his turn. Knowing he's not going to be able to kill off Internal Troll from that 1 damage, he's just going to go ahead and play some Magia. Magia is going to have a difficult time here considering he does have Spellier Bands. We saw earlier that Magia does carry Acid Jet, so he may play an Acid Jet on the Spellier Bands to help him out trying to get rid of it. Even if he attacks with Turn Troll, though, however, it will still be at 1 resource, so he's not going to get rid of it fully. Supernova comes out, killing off the allies. Both Internal Trolls will be staying on the field. Magia ate 5 damage there while Bad Rune didn't take any damage. Bad Rune does have he has filled up his hand here. He has Tombstone Beacon left. After that 1/3 billion Tombstone Beacon, he'll be out of draw engines. I'm not exactly sure that would really affect him too much right now, though. Him having an additional ally out, though, does get rid of that Darkin. So he's going to have a little bit harder time getting rid of the Internal Trolls. I think his goal here playing down that Soul Seeker is just making sure that those Internal Trolls stay at bay and that they can't come back to finish off that durability on his Spellier Bands. Going for the hero This gives Magia an opportunity to kill those tormentors by other means other than abilities. For example, she has her ability that she can hit it with and then use Eternal Troll to kill it so it's destroyed by battle damage. She can also attack with the other Eternal Troll and use an ally such as like Krygon, for example, to come in and be able to kill it off. Instead, she's going to go ahead and use Lightning Strike. We'll see if she attacks the hero. She just uses it on the crypt spawn. I probably just go for the hero, even though it's not going to do any damage. No big deal. But that's up to Magia here. Yeah, she just uses on that. She'll be able to destroy both of them and send them to the graveyard. Bad Rune is still pretty relevant right now in this match, and he is only relevant because of his health. Magia, though, as soon as she gets that spell your bands off, though, this is going to be a different match. Now, that is if she hasn't used up all her spells, though. If she's used up majority of her abilities this game, then she may not have anything left after the spell your bands come off. However, I think she still has a lot of abilities still left in her deck. I haven't seen too much. She's used up, quite a bit of them, but not all of them yet. At least I don't think so. And yes, Bad Rune does have his weapons to do the damage to Magia, especially with her being low right now. It may not be enough, though, if Magia can play her spells back to back. Right now, if I was her, I'd just focus on drawing, making sure he doesn't have anything left on the field. He's running out of cards here as far as in his hand. He has no draw engine out. And then as soon as you get that spell your bands off, you just go straight for him. Going to go ahead and kill off the Tormentor with the Eternal Troll and attack with the Uragaan. Ooh, playing the Sacrificial Lamb. He's got 7 resources. Maybe he's digging for that Acid Jet to get rid of it and then being able to attack directly on the Bad Rune. Playing Leyline Nexus. So it looks like she carries the combination between the two, Acid Jets and Leyline Nexus. Again, I think we're going to see a completely different game here. 9 resources. I'm assuming she still has a lot of abilities left. And Bad Rune can go for the hero. However, that's going to leave him open if he decides to make that play and not go for the allies. Playing the Shroud. Most damage he has right now is the 3 with Krygon, I believe. Not Krygon, I'm sorry, with Death Collector. Go ahead and replacing the Soul Seeker with the crossbow. I'm assuming that is going to be for Uragaan. So he's going to have an opportunity to kill off the Uragaan with the crossbow. So he's not going to go for the Hero Stoat here. Going to go ahead and use his ability. Maybe he is trying to go for the hero here. We'll see. That'd be 7 damage, leaving Magia with just simply 4 health. Now, if he does that, Magia will be able to waste the rest of the durability off that crossbow, though. Oh, and there comes out Ground Shift. So if she does decide to attack with the Eternal Trolls this turn, they'll all die actually. I believe Magia doesn't have much of a choice here, though. She's got to get rid of that weapon. One damage just leaves her open to way too much possibilities. You have Death Mage, you have Krygons, another weapon. So I feel like she has to attack. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. So Badroon has to do 4 damage. The likelihood of him doing 4 damage right now is pretty slim in my opinion. He's got to, I don't know, 2 cards. For just 2 cards is a lot for Badroon. I know 4 damage is not a lot, but for Badroon it is. Not going to have enough there. He's just going to be, oh, never mind. That's only for allies. Alright, so 10 resources. Magia does have too much knowledge up, can draw from it. And she even saying GG. I'm assuming Magia probably has this. We'll see exactly what she plays. She used up a lot of her abilities the last turn, and she does go ahead and sacrifice, more likely as an ally. Even if it's just simply, there's one fireball. Even if it's simply just a supernova, she'll be at least be able to tie it up. And there's a supernova, so it is a tie game. We are moving into the 4th round. It is still 1-1. And this has actually been the first draw in any SCG tournament so far. Alright, so they are hosting it up. Both of them are hosting. Should be an interesting game here. We'll see who comes out on top. And this will be a random start. Off the random start last game, Badroon did get the start. If Magia gets to start this game, though, I feel like it's going to be an advantage on her part. As we saw in the previous games, when she gets that early start and the early aggression on Badroon, it's definitely really hard for Badroon to come back. But he does get the start, so it helps him out a little bit there. And Magia had to play down with too much knowledge last game. So we'll see if she has to play again or she gets her her ally this time. So this is where the action should kick off. We'll see if Badroon has a turn 2 play. All he has is a few Harbingers, I believe. So, and he does not draw any. The Krygon, I'm sorry, not Krygon, the Ironhide goes out. So That will give her the advantage as far as the field. However, there's a lot of 3 drops that can take out that Ironhide. And Tombstone Beacon. So Bad Rune is giving her the field advantage here. Internal Troll. This is the start that she wants. And if we see a Tomb of Knowledge here on turn 4, this may be a repeat from the very first game when Magia had just completely dominated Bad Rune. The Death Collector come out, no problem for Magia as far as she'll have the option whether she wants to use her ability with an attack, or does she just wants to use Internal Troll to start off the attack and using the Ironhide. Uragon comes out. Using the ability there, me personally, I probably would have attacked with the Internal Troll and saving the ability just in case you needed it. However, it does help a little bit playing it off early though, because you will get your draw. Now, Internal Troll does have Hunter's Gambit on. So, let's say for example, he has a Death Mage and a weapon in hand. And he plays down the Death Mage to kill Internal Troll and then use the weapon to finish it off. He will be able to send the Internal Troll to the graveyard, whereas instead just leaving it. And he ends up playing Ground Shift instead. The advantage here, though, not attacking with the Internal Troll first, is Raven Gambit will come into effect after his sacrificing phase, so he doesn't have those extra cards or those extra options to sacrifice. He has to sacrifice what's in his hand. So there is an advantage of using Magia's ability early like that. With Bad Rune's weapon out, Uragon Phoenix, when he attacks, he will not be able to come back because his passive says when he's inflamed, he won't be able to come back. Nevertheless, though, Ground Shift is out, so no matter what, no passes are activated. He's not going to attack at all and just leave it alone. Tomb of Knowledge does come out, so he does have his draw engine established, which is definitely good for him. Sacrificing Uragon, knowing he's not going to get anything out of it once it's attacked. Oh, and his pass is up, actually, as he went to the graveyard, not inflamed, so definitely a smart play done by him. Now, if Bad Rune attacks with his weapon, it'll leave him at one health. So when he switches the turns back, Uragon will die. He can save Death Mage ability on the Magia. Or he could use Death Mage's ability as he's doing, then attack with a Bad Rune and prevent Uragon from defending. So it all depends whether or not he wants to eat 3 damage to take 2 damage to Magia, or he wants to play it safe and kill it off without anything. Does activate the Tomb of Knowledge. He is at 5 resources. Out goes the Supernova. Is going to kill off the field, but Tormentor is going to go back into his hand. Babroon is left with 15 health versus the 21 health Magia, although I think it's going to be very similar health here after this turn. Expelliarmus Bands does go out, so Magia definitely needs some Leyline Nexus here just to be able to get rid of that and continue her assault. That eats up most of his turn there, so he didn't really get played too much of anything so early. So it doesn't look like he has any Leyline Nexus. He's going to play down the Uragons. However, their passives will not be much use if they are killed by Babroon's crossbow. That Tormentor we had seen earlier comes back out. Killing off the Uragon for good. We won't see him come back. Using the ability on Death Mage. Or Death Collector, I'm sorry. Krygon comes out. He can kill off the Death Collector with Krygon's ability, and then use the combination of attacks to kill off the Tormentor, and he won't go back to the hand. Now, Babroon won his second game because of his phenomenal draw engine setup. In the third game as well, he had quite a bit of draw engines out. It'll be interesting this game considering he hasn't had much draws. So we'll see if that comes back to hurt him, or will he pull through and be alright in the end. He's going to go ahead and kill off the Krygon and attack with the Uragon. Babroon replaces a crossbow, even though it had 1 durability left, with another crossbow. Playing down the ground shift, he's going to go ahead and kill off the internal troll. That way it doesn't come back to haunt him. Playing down the sacrificial lamb. Uragon will come back. Or, no, he does not because of ground shift. I do apologize. He finally got the Leyline Nexus. That will leave Babroon open now for his spells. For her spells. With only 14 health left, with only 2 cards in hand, Magia may have this just because of the abilities, the damage output she has with her abilities. Playing down the acid jet, getting rid of the weapon, leaving him with absolutely nothing. He still has 2 turns to go before he can lay down another weapon, or at least another weapon with his ability. He has enough resources now where he can summon any weapon he draws. Grandpa Kycron comes out, doing 2 damage, leaving it at 12 health. Soul Seer comes out, that helped him out quite a bit. Took 2 damage just to heal 3. Magia doesn't really have much choice here. She needs to stay away from playing allies right now, unless it's something similar like a Krygon or something of that nature. Otherwise, or she could play down a Ironhide. Those would be able to attack freely without taking damage. Playing the Sunblighted one. Another Sunblighted one doing 2 damage to Badroon. Badroon won't be able to finish him unless he plays down something like a Raven's Gambit, which may be possible, and that's why he couldn't play down those 2 cards earlier he had, just because there's no allies out. So Magia has 5 cards in hand, 8 in deck. She needs to get her abilities out and be able to finish this match off sooner than later. I honestly don't see Badroon attacking. Oh, maybe he does. Otherwise, I don't really see him attacking Magia this turn. I think he wants to save it and try to heal up Badroon and kind of outlast her. Oh, he actually gets rid of the Soul Seeker and comes out with a crossbow instead. So no more healing for him. Gia almost used the ability, ended up canceling it. We'll see if why so. The Lightning Strike come in. Possibly has another Lightning Strike. Nope. I don't think she's at risk here using that ability, because next turn she will have another one. And this game is wrapping up to a close here really soon, so I don't think holding off really helps at this point. Doing another 4 damage. She has another. There it goes, another fireball with the attack from Sunblighted one. This is GG with a 2-0 victory, or a 2-1-1 if you count the draw on it. So definitely a great finals matchup. There's a lot